before we submit the project, let's take a look at the requirements for the assignment. So we're making an animation. It has to be at least 10 seconds long. We are going to export it as a QuickTime movie, an MOV file. And then we're going to upload to OpenLab the movie file, our storyboard file, and then we're also going to make a statement like we've done for our previous assignments using this template that we see here. And then when we submit, we have to remember to submit the After Effects project file. Along with this file, since if you're using any other footage from video or image sources, make sure to include those files along with the After Effects file, because the After Effects file will point to those sources, but it's not going to have them inside the file itself. So you may not be using other sources, and so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But if you are using external images or other footage, make sure to include those in the file itself. So to export a video, it's pretty easy. In After Effects, we're just going to select the composition that we want to export. So we have our main composition selected. And I'm going to go to File and go to Export. And there's a couple different options here. The Adobe Media Encoder is a slightly more advanced encoding application. That's a separate application. So if we want to use that, it'll take our files from After Effects and it'll move over there, and we'll have more control over the specific parameters of our export. For this simple project, I don't think we really need that. So we're just going to go to Add to Render Queue, and that's just the internal renderer in After Effects. So rendering is basically the process where we take the edited version of our project and we render it down frame by frame into a video that we can post on YouTube or online or in different sources. So it's just like exporting a JPEG or a PNG from Photoshop or Illustrator. So I'm going to go to Add to Render Queue. That's going to bring up this like render window here. There's a few settings that we're going to want to set here. So the main one is output to. This is where the file is going to be saved. So if we don't set this, it's not going to be saved correctly. So we can just click where it says not specified, and then we'll see our Finder window pop up. It should probably be in the place where your AEP file is. If not, you can just find your project folder, and then you can call it main.mov. That's fine. All of that is going to be fine, so we're just going to click Save here. And then we do have some render settings here, so if you want to take a look at those, you can choose. There's some presets, so best settings is going to be the highest quality settings. We don't really need to use anything in here in particular. We can also look at the output module, and we have some options here. Since we're making a very short animation, we really don't need to worry too much about optimizing the output, because a very short video file is not going to take up a lot of space on the computer. If we were making something that was longer, like 3 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, we'd probably want to do something with a little bit more compression. We could play with these options a little bit, but because our video is so short, we really don't have to worry too much about this. So I'm going to leave this on high quality, and once I'm ready to go, I'm just going to click Render here, and you're going to see it render out each frame of the video, and then it will save a file. And so if we go back to the Finder, here's my main.mov, and if I open this up, it should play in QuickTime. And so there we see our video file, and we can upload this directly to the OpenLab. You can also put it on YouTube or something like that, but we're just going to upload it directly to the OpenLab. So this is only 13 megabytes, which is very small for a video file, but that's because the time, 10 seconds, is so small. Most videos, obviously, if you watch videos on YouTube or TikTok or other things like that, usually the length is much longer. So let's go back to the browser, and we can finish our submission. So in the class blog, I have to log in, and it logged me in. I don't really know. I guess I was already logged in, and it just hadn't updated. And then I'm going to click the plus button here to create a new post. and I'll type my animation as a title, or you could name it after whatever you're calling your animation. I'll choose the animation category. And we can start just by adding our video. So I'll click the plus block. And for this one, we're going to want to make sure to use a video block. If you use a different type of block, it's not going to work correctly. So I'm going to click video and then upload. And I'm going to find my video file here. And that'll take a second to process. So while that's processing, we can add in the rest of our information for our statement. So we're going to start with a title, semester, and year, and then software, and then a short description. So the title of my animation is Excitement. This semester and year is fall 2023, and the software is After Effects. And for the description, it's the same that we've done for previous ones. You can just describe what you were going for. You might talk about what techniques you used. If you are using other like images or other sources, you should include licensing information and links to those sources. I'm not going to do that because I haven't used anything like that, but if you want to use images in your animation, you can. And you can just use some licensing info here. So I'm just going to write a short description. I animated the emotion Excitement using a basic shape with a sort of floating animation path, which I then duplicated and nested within the composition. And you can go on and talk about how you approached it, add any other information that you think will be relevant. It should be 2 or 3 or 3 to 4 sentences. And so you can talk about any part of the process or anything that you want to reflect on. Once you've done all that, you can take a look at the animation post and just make sure it looks okay. It looks like the animation has not processed yet. I wonder, I guess that might just take some time. Hopefully it works. Let me see if there's a way. I'm just gonna check and make sure. Okay. I don't know if it's still processing. It looks like it's already here. Let's take a look at the file URL. Make sure this works. Okay, so I think it may actually, it may not be able to play an MOV file. So let's replace this. I'm gonna go to edit. So I actually think, let's double check, because the assignment is calling for an MOV file. Let's take a look. Okay, so they're saying an MOV file, but I actually don't think an MOV file will play. I should have thought about that before. So let's replace this. So I'm just going to delete this. Let's export a different type of file. So I'm going to go to export again. And let's change the file type. So let's go to output module. Instead of QuickTime, I'm going to use, let's see. Okay, it doesn't give me, okay, here, this is what I probably need to do. So under video output format options, so I think what I want to do here is choose a different option. Let's see. But it doesn't really give me the right option. Okay, let's cancel this. Let's try. Okay. That's for audio. So what I really probably want is a different codec, which is H.264, but I don't see that in here. Maybe it's one of these settings. No. Okay. Okay, so maybe we need to use. Let's actually try using the Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, I don't have the Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to this in a second because it doesn't look like we can export the right type of file, and I need to download the Media Encoder. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video, and we'll come back in just a second.